This is our session number 12, and I am continuing work on detailing the underfaces, and I believe the gums get done this time around. So, right now I'm working on a second level of detail, which basically means carving in the curves just a little bit more with the Damien Standard brush, making them a little bit deeper, because whenever you subdivide, it kind of smooths out the creases that you've made, so you have to go back in and make them a little bit more sharp. So that's what's going on here. Once again, a lot of Damien Standard brush, a lot of clay buildup brush, a lot of changing shaders and just to see what it looks like. So it's a very simple process, and that's why I've compressed it down into 5 minutes, because an hour of this is kind of tedious. So here I'm going to be using a rock texture brush that kind of breaks up the flat planes of the beetle shell, or what I was trying to convey as a beetle shell. And so here's checking out the shapes and checking out the shadows, and now moving on to the gum area, which surrounds the teeth. So it's the same kind of stuff. For detailing, I don't use the move tool that much because I don't want to change the silhouette. So it's a lot of the same stuff again: Damien Standard, clay buildup, inflate, Damien Standard, clay buildup, inflate, rinse and repeat. So this is sort of like following the gum line where the teeth smush into the gums. You know what your gums look like if you brush your teeth on a regular basis. So this is just kind of going off of impression. I don't have any reference photos up to work off of, but I generally know what gums kind of look like because I have them. You have them too. So if you have a part that you're working on and you have that part readily available on you, like if you're gonna model a hand or a nail or something like that, just look at your hand, look at your nail. So the bottom of the piece probably won't be looked at too much, I hope, but I made a little bit of a ridge there just where I think the spine might go into it. More simple stuff, just making sure everything lines up with the face portion. I think at the end of all the bits, all the detail sculpting from all the different bits, I'm going to do one more pass just to see if everything fits the way I want it to, and then we're almost done. I think I could actually finish it this week. We'll see. We shall see. More in cuts to break up the gum forms just to make them look a little bit more muscly. And I like modeling with this particular shader. I think it's called like matte cap skin, but it doesn't really look like skin. But I like the highlights that it gives you. This is another fun material to sculpt with. It's one of the matte cap chrome things. And of course my favorite brass material. So I think I've moved up to a second level of detail, and once again going back over all the creases that I've done with Damien Standard brush at a very low radius, cutting things in to make them a little bit more sharp, and adding in little bits here and there to break up the forms and make it look more organic. Lumpies, 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 lumpies on lumpies on lumpies with more lumpies and more crow's feet. And a couple of indented pock marks just because. Checking out the forms, creasing them a little bit more. And seeing how it all lines up with the rest of it, checking some shadows with different various materials. And here comes a fancy render in Keyshot with basic clay material just to differentiate the parts that I just worked on from the parts that have already been finished. So, if you enjoyed watching this, please consider subscribing to my Patreon page. When all of these sessions are done, I'm going to put it into an online course that will be free for all patrons. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. Share with your friends. And if you have any questions, or if you see this somewhere, please let me know and I'll try to answer them.